16. 12:16 now. I'm late. I'm late. I'm
It's
late. I'm late. I'm late. I'm late.
at
Still,
12 we're ready,
I
and
feel
then by
yeah.
12:15
By 12.
thing again. And then
That's
we're
too
late,
funny.
and then
1 minute. I mean, it wasn't like we were late. Late. It
yeah,
was
we
just like
weren't
it was.
late.
Hey, everybody out there. It's 12:16.
Nope.
Um, I am in a time warp.
Time warp.
I'm in a time warp.
What is time warp?
Well, so yesterday was Tuesday, as you know. Those of you that
Yes.
don't, today's
Yes.
hump day. I could have put up a hump. I
Could have.
could have. I could have put up a hump day,
Why
but I
didn't
didn't.
you?
I I'm in a time warp.
You're in a time.
So
Okay.
I had a meeting last night that
Okay.
I really wanted to be at
Right.
at 8 o'clock. I think I was still on the phone with my other buddy. That's what happened. It dawns on me that's
Yeah. 8:30. Yeah.
less
That.
is more. Yeah, that
Yeah.
I ended up talking. But I was in a really quick, very supportive conversation. I reached. I want to talk about money. I want to talk about gratitude. I want to talk about God now. Weirdness of I have a belief I'm doing. They believe I'm doing. Remember that rude awakening you got in as an adult, but it was making it up as they. It's that imposter syndrome. It's like, well, yeah, I get that you, but
No,
I'm not. You can't really.
part of it. Part of it is you're talking about things that you said,
Well, yeah, because they're not.
and then person you're explaining it to someone, and they see it as a solid plan, and you're
Yeah.
like, nah, this is just a bunch of I put together.
Well, and it was interesting because I spent some time talking to Leslie. Les. Les. If I say Les, you know it's the guy. Um, and I think that's yeah, very much sort of your expectation when you decide to quit on an act. Everybody tells me this. Everybody's like, yeah, that's a good idea, but talking to someone, yeah, but then they're gonna judge you.
Right.
What happened? Wasn't that when I took off my mask, people judged me? Yeah, I want to take my mask off too. Didn't go,
They said I
oh,
want to join. Stay away from.
yes. It was,
I was worried. I'll tell you. I'll tell you what. I was worried about that too. That's why it took me, or at least like say something to her. Hey, there was that one time that I had asked her to come over,
I do remember that.
and I ended up going to her house instead.
No,
And what happened
I was
was
here.
I got
Oh,
scared. I got
yep.
really scared. And I don't know why I constantly have this fear, but I have this
Because you're
fear
human. No, because
that
you're
people
human.
are going to judge this that I really care about. Yeah.
But then I think about it. Side note. Um, all of those. My advice to everybody on dating is to go and actually have a real conversation because then you'll meet.
Right.
And we all kind of try and figure what's the best me I can project. And then 5 years into marriage, people are like, who are you? You?
I,
Ooh,
I,
ooh, ooh, ooh.
I had it, but then I did.
Who are you? Ooh, 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 ooh. I really want to know who are you? Ooh, 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 ooh. Oh man, sorry, folks.
I backed it off. So
Well,
you're good.
no, trick is.
I
Oh, you backed mine off a little bit.
just a
Yeah,
tad.
I appreciate
Just a
what
tad.
we sing. Your goal is to back me down to a light rumble, like there's a beat. Your nice vocals up enough that we can
Turn it
hear
up that
them.
that they can hear me really.
Let me think they can hear me. turn my mic off. You ever like you'll see that one guy on stage singing with the whole group. Everybody's got their own
And you're
mic.
paying attention to the sounds that going on. You're
Well,
like, that dude's mic isn't on.
you realize that there's no cord. Wait a minute. That mic, I know
mic's
that
got a
that
cord.
mic, that mic, that mic, that
Yeah.
mic, that mic all have a cord. I know that that man has a mic,
But he doesn't have
but
a cord.
there's no cord.
Unless they're working with a one-man wireless setup.
Well, it's very meaningful for me. Seeing people, hearing people, then seeing them. I am so grateful. I feel so okay. So I'm more. The meeting I was way excited about going to last night that I missed. I was really looking forward to going to, and feel guilty for not being there. I really want to.
The people that
Oh my
supported you.
God, they just all showed up.
Yeah. No, now I feel like I can't let them down. I feel like I have to keep
And here's the trick. Don't carry that as a weight because what they're telling you is what you're doing.
Right.
So it's like if you're ever in bed with a young lady and she don't stop,
that means
she doesn't mean go faster.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean slow down.
That means
keep your rhythm, keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
So I'm going with
don't stop. Just keep doing it.
Wisdom I learned. Funny thing happened on the way to the orgy. This is what I learned at the
I knew it.
There's someday I'm gonna write a book called A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Orgy. It's not it's a trick record. There's no sex in the book. It's about on the way. It's the things you learn interacting with people. You know, but a portion of our interaction is all based around our sexuality.
I think that could about this.
Oh, absolutely.
That we're doing, talking to people.
Well, a funny thing happened on the way to the orgy. It ends up you're better off. You're better off meeting real people.
Right.
God, the people met. The range. Right. It was funny. I had a friend go, I only have one complaint. You know what? You didn't ask me about this, and I wanted to give more answers about that. I'm like, oh, no. That's a feature, not a flaw. What you're saying is you have more things you want to say.
All right.
We can schedule that.
You ready for round 2, buddy?
Well, so 10 questions. It was funny. We were talking about 10 questions of music and the passion of the 10 questions and Frankenstein's the Dr. Frankenstein's 10 questions.
We came up with a bunch of sequel
names. Back to the 10
Back to the 10 questions. I was gonna make a Die Hard 2 reference, 10 questions, but I just realized it was 10 questions 2. Is even more confusing.
10 questions, 2 question harder.
2 question harder.
No, 10Q2, Q harder.
There you go. That's the joke. Yep. But
The Cure and the Furiouser.
Cure and the Furiouser?
The Q and the Curiouser? Fast and the Furiouser. So yeah, the Q and the Curiouser. So we're silly.
Yeah.
What we're doing is throwing around a million ideas, girl.
Right.
It's very true that we're coming off a runner's high, was what I said.
A runner's high? Yeah.
Yeah, it's that whole.
It feels that way.
It's that time warp thing I'm talking about. Hey, I'm so filled with a great energy. A great feeling of like, whoa.
I'm like mellow, but my spirit has without a doubt.
Okay. Real quick. It's gonna sound sudden, but gratitude. I want to thank Anthem Republic. I want to thank Fire, David Hayes, Michael, Arajuka, Ben Hayes, Iggy Garcia, Thomas Williams Dowdswell, Tony Williams, Tiffany, Cypher, Caesar, God, Josh Garrison, Unusual Buddha,
Thank you guys so
I'm
much.
Arthur. All done so much for my ability to live a way that was more productive.
Right.
Um, we're working on it's funny. I don't know that he knows that. I know that in working on the project,
You.
I've gained a lot of insight on the project I'm working on
Right.
too. Like our mutual project has helped. It's where me thinking about mission and vision statements came. Dermot Grath. Oh my God, what an amazing guy! Reached out to us and goes, "I have a piece. I have this. I can't express to you how meaningful it as somebody sitting around in their world, their life.
Yeah.
Okay,
Doing their thing.
we all are living our life, walking our path. It's hard. Reach out and go, you know, you were on my mind, and I had this thought of this thing that I have that I thought might help you.
Right.
And it tied to the other person. Oh my God, you know, thank you. The idea that somehow I'm on your mind or on someone else's mind and they're thinking about us.
Right.
Pshaw, I say.
Pshaw.
Pshaw, I say. You know, I'm not good at that part.
Right.
One of the things we were talking about earlier this morning was me looking at you going, you need to be grateful for you. That because our self-talk is crap when we're off the air. I'm not going to lie to anybody. We can get pretty rough on ourselves.
Well, no, like I remember earlier, like we were doing something, and you stopped yourself because I was uploading stuff, and you had said you were about to say like, hey, did you do this, right? And you stopped yourself because you were like, you've already done so much today. I don't want to make it seem like I don't care about everything you just did, because I really do.
Well, it's that. So in our process, we've got a million ideas. This is a constant spaghetti at the wall. First wall is our wall. Next wall is your wall. We throw spaghetti at it. We come up with ideas. We think about stuff. We either, a lot of it moves on to let's do it. A lot of it moves to, we're crazy. What the no?
And
or we need more help later. Or it's a later thing.
I had to stop myself when I was looking at the clock and I realized it was 11:28 and I was asking you about the website. I was like, wait a second. This is something we could do tomorrow. Let me not.
Let's do this.
Let me
now.
Calm down.
Well, it's being present in what you're doing is hard.
It's difficult.
We really weren't planning on not being here yesterday, but we were both in our own time world. It was weird.
Yeah.
We had created.
I was so narrowly focused.
No, but no. Stop.
No. It's not even It's not. Listen.
Okay, good.
It was a mutual. There was a thing.
You're gonna.
There was a thing. There was a thing that both of us could have done that would have done.
Absolutely.
So it's a mutual.
It was very no. What I'm pointing out is there was yesterday existed in its own time and space. It was very weird.
It was its own separate timeline. Yeah.
It was its own.
There's a Tuesday where we come back.
Wait a minute. Which timeline is this? Let us decide.
Which timeline is?
Well,
the die decide?
We all know based on community that if you roll a dice, you create 6 timelines.
Okay.
7 if Jeff's a dick. Because really there were 7 people at the table, not 6 when he rolled it.
Okay.
So there were 7 timelines.
So there were 7 times.
Because the reason he picked up a die to roll to see who would go is he was person number 7. They were looking to find out who had to go get the pizza.
Okay.
Now, I need Abed here at the moment, but okay.
That doesn't look good on camera.
Oh God, that is kind of. Sorry, guys, I'm just really excited about it all. This is.
You get 1.
This is the timeline. The universe has told me no. There's one timeline.
We're back
damn
on
it.
Track, man.
We're back on track.
Right.
Yes. We have to be certain in our thoughts so that we can bring back together our realities, because it's split into another one. 16. Okay, now a Rick and Morty reference.
Yep.
Well, it did feel like that yesterday.
Yeah.
God, it felt like that yesterday. But I am so Sean Hayes, who made food and got everybody going and made sure There were ribs and
Yup.
chicken
Lots of
and
food upstairs going
oh
on.
man, baked bean. Oh, how can I not thank Negla?
Yes. My mom brought some food.
Absolutely.
It was
And
pretty
remind me of your stepdad's name. I apologize.
Jack.
Jack and Negla, who brought food.
Yes.
And then, but there's also lots of other people that reached out and are my mom. My God, my mom.
My aunt reached out. That was really
It's
sweet.
meaningful.
It was,
You know,
it's really meaningful when someone like even if they're not directly involved in your thing, it's really meaningful when someone's your thing and is like, "Hey, I just want to let you know, like, you're awesome. Keep doing your like stuff like that."
I see what you're doing and I believe in it.
Right.
That's this statement.
Right.
So,
Meaningful.
well, because I see what I'm doing and I don't always believe,
Quite frankly.
quite frankly.
Yes.
I mean, Dean Martin Lee.
D. Martin Lee.
If we're going to give Frank credit, we might as well give Dean credit.
Dean.
I used to have a pet dinosaur named Frank. But, anyways.
You had a pet dinosaur.
Yeah, because the most famous dinosaur in the world is Dino.
You
Dino
know,
is Fred Flintstone's dinosaur. But Dino, as Dean Martin was known's best friend was Frank. So if I was going to have a dinosaur, my dinosaur, Dino's best friend, Frank.
yeah.
By way of Dean Martin and Dino.
Wait,
Dino,
that
Dean
would
Martin
make,
was called Dino back in the day.
that would make you Dino though. I thought the dino's Dino. So you're Frank.
No, the Dino was. You're just confusing me.
I'm saying
Who's
the
on
Dino,
first?
the Dino shouldn't be Frank. The Dino should be Dino.
Frankly speaking, the point is that it's touching over and over again. I'm not good at receiving that. I'm working on that.
Yeah.
That I am so overwhelmed with the gratitude that I'm like, oh, okay. I more that everybody's like, oh, look at what you're doing. All I did was ask the questions. Oh, look at what you're doing.
Right. You're making other people feel more comfortable.
People are
to come
looking
on
at
the
me
show.
going, look at what you're doing. No, 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 no. All I did was hook up some electronics.
It means
and I didn't even do that. I found somebody to do it.
It means
I am clueless.
Man, you got more. You can give yourself more credit than that. You run the video piece. I don't know how to do that.
Have you ever watched this idiot shaking his hands at you?
Shaking his hands.
He's like, dude. You're like, high five. Oh, he's learning. He didn't leave me hanging that time, did he? That no, I'm actively excited. Calling.
Who's calling?
I don't know. Not anybody I know. I don't think. Officially, I
Shoot,
should have the ringer off.
Someone,
But I felt that no, here's the thing. The play is if your ringer goes off,
right?
you have to act like, oh, let us see who it is. Because
Right.
now they've heard the ring.
Right.
And you know what's the funny thing is, and I just did it. I didn't even turn off my ringer. I just said, I didn't ring, so it could just ring again.
Yeah, I just turned off my ringer.
Right?
It's a hard thing to remember to do.
Well, the
You
messed up
forget
thing
so
is,
easily.
what if somebody calls the other phone?
Yeah, you gotta plug it in.
I got like,
We gotta answer. Hey, you're live on Where's the Line?
you know what? Things that we're thinking about. You know, and I've got.
That was something we talked about.
That was.
Like,
The call-in show.
Yeah, call-in show.
The reality is, we have a phone number.
Yeah.
That we could
Get people to call in
during set. We even talked
during
about
set times. Yes.
We even talked about how to set up an entire phone tree with our
multiple phones.
with
yeah,
our fake phone numbers.
phone numbers.
All of our
yeah.
fake phone numbers and our fake.
We'll just throw out a whole bunch of, dude. We gotta talk about some stuff
Well,
later.
then
but
you could just no, you could just transfer them to lines. Then just give out one phone number, but then you have the ability to transfer it to the other phone numbers.
I'm really grateful when people contribute an idea. It really in addition to the support, contributing an idea
Well, people are
means so much to me.
I actively promote the idea that I'm interested in people.
Right.
that people are surprised by the idea that you really want to hear it.
Hey, have you ever thought about doing this or this?
Oh yeah.
It's like, no, tell me more.
You know what?
Yeah, that.
This is something funny happened on the way to the orgy. But it's those same conversations. But anyway, have you tried this?
No, tell me more. Right? See, you see how that happened
Well,
there,
the whole point is a book that when you open it, you're expecting one thought,
right? And you get another.
and you get. I love that. I love the
Physical We're
yeah.
finishing each other's.
On the way to
Wow.
relationships, you figure things out. Whether you mean relationships like or relationships
Yeah,
in
one
the
of those
biblical
two.
sense. You know,
In the
but
biblical sense.
I'm so grateful for perspective.
Me too.
Man, I almost said my perspective. You know what? I'm not there yet. But it's in seeing things through other people's eyes that I get closer in valuing maybe what I see.
I'm grateful that I know some.
Right?
I'm really grateful.
Big
of that.
question I got.
That's the closest I'll get to saying I'm grateful for my perspective.
No, here was the big question. It was
Uh-huh.
where do you find these people?
Anywhere,
I don't know.
anywhere,
That it so
places, man.
it was actively just being interested in the human beings around us.
Right.
It's kind of nice though because like otherwise you're obsessed constantly about what's going on with you.
Right.
And it's been kind of nice to occasionally lay that down and go, so
What
what's
you
going on
doing?
with you?
Right.
You know, that there comes a we start off excited about getting our idea and our words out.
Right.
Um and then so then we listen to people waiting to respond. Like, let me give my side of it. Let me give my. Actually, a lot more relaxing to not do that.
It really is. It's
And I don't know how to explain
you
this
can't
whole project. The project is changing us.
you
We
can't
may turn into aliens or something. I don't know, but it's changing us.
you
Yeah, go
can't
ahead.
like zone out, but you also can't over expect either. Like you can't zone out to the point where you're like you're not listening.
No, you have to
But
intently
you're also
listen.
but you're also
Compassionate listening.
yeah,
There we
yeah,
go.
yeah. You have to compassionately listen, and you also can't have an expectation of what they're gonna say. You have to listen to what they're actually saying.
Because it may go a totally. You may be surprised what you hear if you listen.
Well, they may start to say something, and then you cut them off, and then you've essentially you've undercut their perspective.
You've marginalized their outlook.
That's a
You've marginalized them by not paying attention to the actual words coming out of their mouth.
right.
Enunciation is non-distraction. No, that's meditation. Sorry.
Enunciation.
Enunciation
is
is non-distraction. It's when you stop and it's when you're paying attention. Words coming out of your mouth.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a. It's we're. I don't mean to speak. I know that in our conversations we've both talked about the idea that there is an interesting effect. Listen, in hearing people, I swear I also hear myself a little better. Does that resonate with you? Do you feel
Yeah,
like
I feel
there's
like
a weird like, oh wait a minute, and then I'm more present for
I feel that. I definitely feel like I able I'm able to value my perspective a little bit more because there's another perspective to bounce off of.
I
There's another person there for me to relate to. It's almost like when you have a conversation with someone and just everything clicks. It hit it off really well. Or
Yeah.
like sometimes I'll have a conversation with someone and I can tell that there's differences, but it still clicks.
Right.
It still connects even if it doesn't fully mesh.
Yeah, well, like so you go back to million interviews and a million us talking and a million all of that. It doesn't go where you expect it, and that's when it's.
Right.
And I don't mean that like by not having an expectation, it goes somewhere.
Right.
Follow me.
It's guaranteed to go somewhere you didn't expect because you didn't expect anything.
Right. It's. I was explaining to somebody. I'm sure I said it half times on Monday that it's over.
Thinking isn't thinking, man.
Well, yeah, that too. I lost my thought. In all honesty, if you could repeat what I just said, there's a chance we might get it back.
You said I lost it.
Wah, wah, wah. We apologize.
Man, we had a collective brain fart. We're back.
Well, no, we're back. It's
We're back.
In talking to all of these, I have found that without an expectation, even when I asked them,
Right.
maybe that's so. I reach out to people, have an expectation that they're gonna want to even.
Right.
Then I'm because there's no expectation. Unexpected thing is the yes or a no, but I mean it isn't an attachment. There are people. I asked. I had one friend that the questions just resonate with. And I told him how that was meaning. I love you.
Right.
I've had that. No didn't offend me.
Right.
I have an expectation of a yes or a no.
I'll say that no through action get to me. Like
okay,
no,
right.
a verbal no doesn't get to me.
Okay.
That's perfectly fine. If you
I'd rather a verbal no.
I'd rather a verbal no. Yes.
Maybe that's the lesson there.
I would say that no through action.
Passive aggressive.
Yes. That kind of gets to me. But that's okay. I just have to work. That's all that is.
No. They need to work. It's called communication, and you're not the one where it's falling apart.
Well, no. What I'm saying is,
we work really hard at listening yeah.
If I'm unmoved by that, I can be okay with, okay, I'll just fall back. No, like I don't have to pursue this. I'm not gonna materialize. I'll just fall back off that. You know, and if maybe one day it comes back to me, then I'll revisit it then. But I don't have to put energy in things that aren't materializing as much.
Well, that end up with a commitment, have trouble following through. That's human.
Yes.
We're having a conversation today about on our relationship with and stuff like that, and talking about the fact along the way there will be people walk away.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to be very personally. Now I think of it as, but I'll still be here, and if they come back, I'll still be. They got into a fight long ago where I said, if you leave, I'm still gonna, when you make music, I'm still gonna support you.
Right. Right.
That, in the end, I'm grateful to everybody.
It's separating a relationship, whatever your relationship, it's separating that what this project is.
First.
Yeah, person first. Person always first.
Yeah. Well, but
because
that's a big
deal.
Right? Not that it's blowing my mind, but in the sense that the idea that isn't how we're doing it.
Well, the thing about when people the thing that people don't like.
I don't.
The thing that people don't like sometimes is people mix like pleasure. Yes, when you mix it in your head, things get funky because someone could not want to do business but still want to have a relationship.
Right?
That's perfectly okay.
Well, but my rule is
should be.
But I like to do business. I like to figure out that relationship part.
Right.
Before I even about whether I would want.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. And then they're separate, but I want to know that you're have that friendship. It's my whole treat people as people. We treat them as money.
Right.
That we very much have gotten to a point where one of our main, what can this person?
Right.
What's the value of the person?
Right. Versus.
Can I write down what dollar amount? And then one of the things about 10 questions talked about with some of no question about your account. No questions are directly what's your job.
Right. About your family.
They're not it's not
non-specific.
It's very much I'm not looking to find you.
Yes.
Not I'm a coal miner.
Right. Digging for
more than coal.
Versus I'm not digging for.
I ended up in a hole. And that's our coal miner joke for the day.
Diamond.
Thank you to West Virginia Coal Products for their great. No. Watch a show on called Coal Miner. Watching desperately process. That ain't an easy job.
Yeah, I don't.
But in the end, what we're trying to do is create a space for people and for people like their being. And there are people, you know what? That's cool. And I'm gonna work. We're gonna work.
Working with those people, hopefully, we'll make some amazing stuff that you guys will like.
Talk to you.
No. Talk to you. I want to talk to you. Like Sam, us, and like get like an illustrator or something. Like one of our friends that does painting or something.
Oh, draw
see,
me as Uncle
see
Sam?
maybe if we could draw. Yeah, we should do one of you and one of me.
There you go.
And then that would be cool. That would be a cool thing.
Dress you up as a guy and me as a magician. Actually,
I'm down.
I want to get you in full scuba gear walking down the street asking people questions. And I'm at a distance, it's down. I can see you down the street. Got your microphone. Hi. Talk to me.
know what? That ain't a bad idea. We could do
like that.
We could do that.
Underwater interviews.
Underwater interview
with Scuba Ross.
Scuba.
Right?
See, we just come up with ideas.
So, and this is how we work.
Yeah.
And part of us letting you in, a little goofy, a little slap happy, and I don't want to deny that to people. I don't want to deny sharing the fact that process, everybody's going, oh wow, you guys are doing this thing and we're interested in this thing and we are amazed. It's not that we're sitting around with oh Pinky, tonight we're going to try and take over the world.
Well, being so serious about it all the time makes life different because you're constantly applying serious energy, and I think it's a really good thing that we're having fun at this before we ever started making. We're having a lot of fun right now. I'm having a lot of fun right now.
Right. I'm gonna let some people. So what we did was we sat in here for months and watched movies together.
Right.
And sitcoms, and I'm the one that's constantly going, let's spaghetti at the wall. That's my whole spaghetti at the wall. Well, so trying to find our voice in our pursuit of trying to find other voices, that we had a good foundation.
we
had
had to get some sort of rapport going. Now it's easier as long as we both make an effort to like tone ourselves down a little, talking to someone, which we both do. We
we
both
do
do.
actually.
Yeah,
We've gotten really good at it.
and then really punch it up once we're doing this.
Well,
You
yeah.
know, like really, it's gonna work out. It's gonna work out. I don't think there's a single person that we talk to that would.
Boring.
I don't know. Maybe.
I don't think so.
I think as long as we're trying to put in some effort,
Well, but
and the person is trying as well,
yeah, I don't
we'll be
take
good.
credit for it. I
We'll be good.
definitely feel like it's
No, I'm saying like yeah, I'm saying
Yeah.
as long as
that if we
everyone's
create
trying.
that space,
Yeah.
there's a natural flower that happens.
Yes, exactly.
That was kind of flowery,
Right.
right?
Some episodes are like a trifecta. It's really cool. It's like a trident poking you in the eyes with content. Yeah.
No, you know what? But it's true, and I laugh about. We call it the gauntlet.
Yeah.
You know, we laugh about that. It's harder as you go.
Right.
With 10 questions. And I think really the only reason it gets harder as you go is the rapport builds more and more as you work your way through the questions.
Right.
And so by the time you get to why are you here,
Right.
you've been thinking about all of these that get you to a like, huh,
Yup.
love and fear, work and play,
Right.
God thing.
It makes
Where are
you.
you
It makes you
from?
think. Noggin.
Well, but not in a way that makes
Exactly.
it's in a way that accesses I big I think so
Actually, it's
many
dig deep versus think.
well even I think so I way too much. Well, because it's amazing to us that as everybody's going, oh my God, that's wonderful. We're like going, yeah, plan, man. Yeah, damn. Yeah, we knew this. Oh yeah, this is the plan all. This worked better than we
Came up with
expected.
it.
That and meaningfully better than time and again we've been led by what feel
Right.
like the right thing.
Yeah.
By examining what are how how do you start a legitimate how do you get people like that's okay? No, we're not all gonna have this exact thought on how
It would be so boring.
as we globally have are of a thought, how do we restrict people in a box, find them? And I think that's the
Gonna box you in. Gonna shut you down.
no, he'd probably get that'd be a
And
I
we're
would
gonna
love to talk
run
to Rick.
around.
I would love to
hurt you.
Rickroll. I would love to do a NQ Rick in
With Rick.
lowercase, and of course it's Rick Astley. And a
the description
gonna
is
give you
yeah, exactly.
yeah, oh absolutely
Yeah. And then Rick comes in, he's just singing it or singing along or something like that.
well that trying to create a space where I felt safe, which I have trouble admitting as part of the projects I'm working. I have trouble acknowledging that the reason I'm focused on people being, I
Is
don't mean
because
that
you
by
want-
famous, having that conversation. I mean by when I talk about wanting to be, I talk about, I'm thinking about the compassionate side. I'm thinking about somebody understanding me that reality, what happens is that part of myself, I projected it on the world. Does it? That's my perspective. You know what? The idea that I'm looking out and see this level of anxiety, I'm out and see out. Now, realizing that what it really is my perspective and my thoughts on my well being, that explains some of why we end up so surprised when it's returned. That as much as focused on out there, and I have always felt that way. How do we
Well,
hear
it's
stories?
how do we hear other people? And once we get heard, like I wasn't even
Right.
okay. Cool. Good. I'm glad we heard each other. I it's weird because when you go out looking to make new friends, don't exactly expect friends with you. Like at
It's
least I
true.
do.
Well, that you're sure that people are going to see very much. I was afraid that as I reached out to people, like it was actional. Hey, you know what? I need you to sing for me. So always I would end up go, my God, I want me to be involved in your project. That didn't.
Right.
Yes, please.
Right?
It's very confusing. It's very like, no, you're doing me a favor. What do you mean? What do you mean? Thank you for me including you. You're in. I.
Like, wait a sec. Wait. I thank you.
It's
No,
felt like
thank
a
you. No,
okay.
thank
So
you. No,
it's
it's
felt like a
yeah.
beautiful circle.
Yeah.
It's felt like the giving and the receiving were one thing.
Yes.
Mine, theirs, we both. It's complete because what you feel is like this immense gratitude. It's been amazing.
Right?
Why we're doing gratitude back from. Trust me, go check it out. All up on YouTube.
It's awesome.
There's those, but for us, well, I'm a mere. Oh wow, I can tell you as project ends up I see us. That's the non you.
Right.
That's all thing. That's it. Hours. arm to arm. How you do? Catch on the.
And have you seen?
What? Fine. You know what? Make 7.5 billion. Let me know. You guys can get a hold of me. Love to talk to you. Patient is for all of you.
Thank you.